Hi everybody, welcome back to Tips for You. Today I want to show you guys how to make a friendship bracelet called the X pattern. Actually, it has several names. It could be called the cross or the diamond. It's in the family of Chevron bracelets, and my daughter, who is the one who's the expert at making these, is going to show you how to make this pattern. So why don't I turn it over to her, and you will see step by step how to make this lovely pattern. And she has her strings all set up with the colors, and we've divided them, we've taped it on, as you can see, which makes it easy for you to work with. So you might want to do that. If you need information on how to tie this knot, please check out one of the other friendship bracelets videos, which were more beginner videos, and you can find out about that. When you measure the string, we used floss, which is
embroidery floss,
which is like a cotton. Lots of people write and ask, can they use yarn? You can really use whatever you want, but if you want the true official way, it's with the embroidery floss. And to measure it, she just measures it from her fingertip to her shoulder, and if you want to err on the side of conservative, add a little bit more because you don't want to run short. Which is always a good idea, but you know, that's how she measures it. And it's separated here with the two whites on the outer side, as you can see, and then it goes purple, green, and that's one side, and then you've got white and then purple, green, and your X is going to be white in the middle. So why don't I turn it over to her, and I will be the camera person, and let's go with it.
Okay, so just as my mom already said, as you can see with the strings and how they're set up, the color that you want to make the actual X, put on the outside, and then make sure that everything up until the middle string is symmetrical. So my pattern is going to be like white, X, and then it's just going to go purple, green, and this is where the strings are symmetrical here. So then it has purple, green. So in order to first get started, we're going to start with our two outermost strings, and that's the white strings that's going to make the X. So if you guys, this is something similar to the candy stripe bracelet, kind of uses the same pattern. So if you're unfamiliar with that, take a look at that video, and also the video where we make the chevron or like the V type friendship bracelet, because it's also really similar to that too. So the first thing we're going to do is, as I said in some other videos, we're going to take the outermost string, we're going to cross it over the string to the right, we're going to make what I call like the 4, or like a backwards P. From your point of view, it might look like a B or something like that. But you make that, you wrap the string through the loop, and you pull up. So you're kind of making like a little knot, and then you do that again. You do it twice on each string, so that string's done.
Okay, from the other perspective, I'll go behind you so they can kind of see over your shoulder what it's going to look like.
Okay. So then you go to the next string. And
so you're still working with the white string, folks.
Yes. And definitely check out the video where we make the V type friendship bracelet, because this is really, really similar. The X is just a little bit, adds like an extra step, but the V will help you a lot.
So you're taking the white now and you're grabbing the next string.
Yep. And then I'm going to grab the next string. And it's kind of hard to start a little bit at the beginning, so just kind of work with it, because the strings sometimes are a little bit all over the place. But okay, so you're going to stop right here, and you're going to stop where the strings are symmetrical. So
like in the middle,
like
so
right in the middle,
the same amount on one side as the other.
Exactly, same amount of strings on each side. So the pattern's like symmetrical on each side. That's where we're going to stop, and you're just going to leave the white string there.
Okay.
Now you're going to go to the other white string, and just be careful you don't cross your strings, or because this is where you set the pattern. So now you want to go to the other side, and you're going to take this string here, the outermost white string, and you're going to cross it over the next one just like we did on the other side, but everything's in the reverse. So you cross it over this one and you make like a P now. So now you wrap it around through the loop and you go up once and wrap it around, go through the loop and go up twice. Okay, now we move on to the next string. So
taking the white, now you're going to the green.
Now we go to the green because that's next in our pattern. And you go up twice. And now we're going to go to the purple. So that's our next in our pattern. So again, make like the P, wrap around, go through the loop. And you're going to pull up and do the same thing on this green string, the 2 knots. Okay, so now you stop in the middle once again. You stop when the 2 white strings meet each other. Now, just as we did in my other video, what we're going to do is we're going to join these 2 strings, because right now they're just kind of 2 separate stripes going in. So we're going to join the 2 strings and it's going to make a V. And this V is the beginning of our X. So actually, hold on, let me show this better. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this first string and you're going to make like the 4 like you normally make going from this side. So you're going to take the 4, wrap around and go through the loop, pull tight, and then you're going to take this string, the one that hasn't made the 4 I guess yet, and you're going to make a 4 and wrap around and go through the loop. So basically you're just doing 2 knots in the middle to join these 2. And now if you can see that, it looks like a V. And that's the beginning of our bracelet that's going to make an X. Okay, so now you're going to take, again, you're going to start with the leftmost string. So that's generally what we're going to do for this whole bracelet. Always start with the outermost string. The leftmost and the rightmost is what we're going to do. So in this case, it's going to be purple. So we start with the purple, and our pattern's actually already set out for us because it was established in the beginning now. So you're going to take this purple string, you make the 4 type thing, then you go around the string through the loop. Again, make the 4 around the string through the loop.
Each color gets 2 passes, right?
Yep, each color gets 2 knots. And then you move on to the next string. And then you move on to the next string again. Now, this is the important part. This is what separates the V from the X. If you were making a V, you would just continue again until these 2 met in the middle. But since we're not, since we're making an X, we stop with this purple string when it meets the white string. So we stop right here. And we do the same thing with the other side.
So you only go as far as those 2 white strings in the middle?
Yes.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're building the outsides to make the V more visible. And that'll all make sense as soon as we take a look at it. So then again, you do the same thing on the outside, the 2 knots. And you go to the next string and you do the 2 knots again. So now that just stays put a little bit more. And then we were using this string. Okay, and I already had 1 knot here. So now we just do the 2 knots here. And we do the 2 knots here. So like we make the P, go through the loop, and we go 1, 2. And just like we did on the other side, we're gonna stop with that string once we meet the white strings. So we just stop right there. Next, we take the next outermost strings. So that is going to be green. And we go same thing. Fill everything in. So then we go like that. Again, you're building up the sides. So this is now coming down. And with this, we're going to stop right here. Because what we're basically doing is we're building up these sides. So we have a white that's creating an X. So here's the V, and then it's going to have to go down like this. So we're building up the sides. So you basically go until this is once again symmetrical. So with the purple, we went up until the white. With the green, we're going to go up until the purple. And so on and so forth. So then we do the same thing with the other side. We're going to build up these sides. So again, very similar to the V, except we're not joining these colors. We're just keeping them separate. And we only go up to the purple. So we go up to the last string that didn't meet in the middle. The last string we're going to do something with is this purple string. And we take the outermost string once again, make the 4, do the 2 loops, just like that. And with this, we just leave it right there because the green was the last string we used, the green right here. So we just leave it right there. And see how we had, it's kind of difficult to see, but we had like 3 knots of purple, 2 knots of green, 1 knot of this purple. So once we have 1 knot left, our side, that side's completely built up. So now we're going to make the X on that side, but first we just have to do this one. So now we do the same thing on the other side, and we have the purple, we make the P, we go through the loop, go 1, 2, okay, so now let's make the X, and then I'll kind of do a recap of everything that we just did, because once we make the X, hopefully it'll make more sense. So in order to make the X now, we start with these 2 white strings. And what we're going to do is, as you would guess, right, we have the V part of the X, this part right here. Now we need the, like, upside down V, like the actual X. We have to actually make the X. So we're going to take this white string right here, and we're going to make a white pattern going down this way and going down that way. So first we take this white string, and we make like the P, and we're going to go down across all these strings. So we're going to do the same like pattern that we always do for every single bracelet, and we do 2 knots here. And then we go to the next string, we do 2 knots here. Then we go to this string, and we do 2 knots here. And now we go to this last string, and this string, remember, didn't make any knots. We go right here. Okay, so now, can you see that? We took the pattern and we took it down. So when I said we were building up the sides, that's what we did. So that way we can take the pattern and bring it down so it has something to go down against.
Very nice.
And now we're going to take this white string. And it's hardest in the beginning just because you don't have your pattern as established, and it gets easier as you go on. So we take the white string, The next string to its right is this purple one. So we make a 4. Take 2 right here. So it's 1 and 2. Then the next string is green. Go 1 and 2. Next string is purple. And go 1, 2, and the next string is green. And we do 2 knots on that. So now we actually have an X. We have a white X that we have created. And it looks pretty cool. So the next part here, and we're not quite done, is, as you would guess, it looks all empty inside, right? So now we have to close it up. And we're making like this part here. We're making a diamond now. So with this, we start in the middle with the 2 middle strings. And those are the 2 purple strings right here. So just like we did with the white, we're gonna follow along with every other string. So all these colored strings basically follow whatever string, color string is making the X. So in this case it's the white, and now all these other colored strings are gonna kind of do the same thing. So we're gonna make our 2 middle knots to join these 2 in the middle. So we're gonna do a 4 here with this string, and then we're gonna use our other purple string and make a 4. So just making 2 knots with the purple strings. Now we take the purple string that's on the left, and just like we did with the white, we go down through all these strings. So we do the green, 2 on the green, we do 2 on the purple, and then we do 2 on this green. And just like we did earlier, remember we stopped at the white? We're going to stop at the white. We're not going any further than that. And then we're going to do it with the other side. So now we have to make it symmetrical, right? So we have to bring down the other purple string. So we take this and we make our 2 knots going this way. So this basically is just derived from the candy stripe bracelet and the chevron type bracelet, making the V. It's pretty much the same type of thing. It's just taking it a little bit further. So if you can do the candy stripe bracelet, you can do this. So we're just going down through all these strings, and then you stop right here, right at the white. Because the white, we want a white border. So if we didn't see how the blue stopped here at the white's gonna come down. If the blue kept going out, then we'd have a blue border. So we have to stop it right here at the white. If that makes sense. Okay, now we do the next innermost strings, and that's these 2 green ones. And we make a 4. Use the other string to make a 4. And we go down across these strings again too. This is kind of like the whole building up the sides. So we're building up the middle. So we're gonna go take this green string and we're gonna go like down with the green, down with the green on this side. So you're gonna make 2 knots on each side. Is this making any sense? Okay.
I'm gonna have to get my battery.
and we're gonna stop here at the purple. Because remember, we're trying to like make a diagonal, we're trying to build it up so we can take the white and bring it down, so we're stopping at the purple.
Now you can do the green on the other side.
Now we're gonna do the green on the other side. And bring it down. And again, we stop at the purple. Okay, so now, next string, as you may guess, would be the two middle strings again, and that's these. So,
two purples.
These two purples. So we join them to make like a upside down little V type thing. We're joining them. Now we take the leftmost purple and we do it against this leftmost green. Probably would have been better if I didn't use two of the same colors. But whatever. Okay. So then we take this leftmost purple, we do it against this leftmost green with two knots, just like that. And we stop at this green because that's the last one we did knots with. Then we take this purple, the other one in the middle. We do two knots here. And then we stop at this green right here because that's the last one we did knots with. Now, the last step is to take this innermost green, and all we're doing here is joining them together. Just like that. Okay, now what have we created? What we've created is the inside of what's going inside of our diamond-shaped figure that we're creating. So now we're going to bring the white down. Just like we made the initial V in the beginning, we're doing that exact same thing, and as you can see, it's going to follow this kind of general pattern. It's just going to be a V here and a V here. So what we did was we built up the inside to create this diagonal that the white could follow on. So now we start with these leftmost strings again, these white, and we're going to start from the outside, and now we're actually creating the diamond shape. So we do the two knots on each. Now this is like the V pattern. This is exactly like the V that we're creating. So we go like two here. We do two here. We do two here. And remember, this is our middle because that is where everything is symmetrical. It's where I folded the strings, so that's the middle. We do two strings there, and since that's the middle, we stop because we're joining with the other white one in the middle. So now we take this white string on the outside. We do two knots here. Two knots on the next string. So we're just kind of going in order of how the strings are. I'm doing two knots on each. And two knots on this string. And two knots on this next and last green string. Okay, now our whites are in the middle again, so we need to join them. So we join them with the two knots, and now we have pretty much an entire full X, or like diamond pattern as you might call it. So we have the white X going here, and now it's about to start again. So this is the top of the X, and then basically we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build up the sides as we did here by bringing down the purple, bringing down the green, and bringing down the other purple. Then we are going to bring down the whole X to make the bottom of this X. So that's going to bring down the X like that. And then we're going to close it up and make the diamond just like we did. So basically you just kind of keep repeating this. So my next step would be to take these purples and bring them in. So now we're going to take the purple string and we're going to do the 2 knots. So I already have one here, and then we're going to do one more. And we're bringing them in. We're bringing them into the white. We're building up the sides. So we're doing the 2 knots here, and 2 knots here, and we stop at the white, as we do. Now you take the next outermost purple, and stop at the white, because again we're building up the sides. So now we take the green on the outside, and we stop at the purple now, because that was the last string we used. So it'll look kind of like this, right? So we had white, that was the last string we used when we did purple. Now purple's the last string we used, so we stop there with the green, so we don't cross the green with the purple. Now we take the other side. And we go to the other side and we grab this green string. We're going to cross it over the purple. We're building up these sides once again. We're going to go in. So we did the next most string of purple. Now we're doing this one. And the last string we used was the purple one here. That's what we brought down, so we stop right there. And now we use the leftmost string again on this side, and that's this purple color. And we make our 4, go through the loop, so we make our 2 knots. And we stop right here. So the last string we used was green. So we stop our purple when it's next to the green. So we don't actually like cross. We don't make the knots like this into the green. We just leave it right there. So now we go to the other side, and our rightmost string is purple. So we do the same thing with the knots. And the last color we used here, again, is this green, right here. That green is the last one we used. So we stop the purple right there and we don't make knots onto the green. So now we have built up these sides just as we did here. So the next step is to bring down the X. And just to clarify too, see these outermost green? We didn't do anything with that. Every time we make the knots, we stop at where the last knot was made. So for the purple, the last knot was made on the green, so we don't even do anything with the green, because it wouldn't make sense to do a green on the purple. We just would stop right at purple, so that's why we leave it there. So now we take the white. The white is already joined, and we're going to bring it down. So we're going to take white and go this way with the knots and go that way with the knots. So we take the leftmost string to go left. So we make our 2 knots on all the strings going left. Okay, so now we brought down part of that X. Now we're going to bring down the other side. So we're going to do we're going to take this white string right here, and we're going to do the 2 knots on the purple, the green, this purple, and that green, because that's my pattern going to the right. Okay, so now we have it. See? This is the X pattern forming again. So it's just going X, 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 and it's just going to go like X's all the way down. So it looks just like this one here. And we started out with the V, we brought it down, we built up the sides, then we filled in the diamond, which is what our next step is. So our next step is where we would fill in the diamond again. And then we would bring the sides down, and then we would make that V, and then we open it up again by building the sides up, and you basically just repeat this whole thing. So now our next step would be to fill in the diamond. So we start with the purple strings in the middle and we build them out. We build everything out. Then we bring down the white strings. And you just kind of keep repeating that until you're done and until you have it at the desired length.
And here we have the finished product. Isn't that lovely? So all you need to do now is just tie it and put it around your wrist. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you'll give it a try. They're a lot of fun, especially for the summertime. And please subscribe because I have a lot more to come. Something for everyone, including more friendship bracelets. And please visit me at my blog spot where I do a lot of writing. And please like my page on Facebook and follow me on Twitter so we can stay connected there as well. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much for viewing. Bye-bye now.